So we're trying to figure out how to stand out against competition because we know it's cutthroat. And what did we heard earlier and a few episodes ago? There's a sea of sameness out there and you just feel like your business can't get ahead.
Yeah, it's a red sea, like they say.
Yep. And
because it's so cutthroat that everyone is just devouring each other in order to get on top.
I don't know about you, but it's really hard to get your own business to stand out because everybody's looks the same.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, they're doing the same stuff.
Yep. So Blue Ocean Strategy gives some really great proven solutions with case studies of how to pull yourself out of that. And this one, I have to tell you, was one of my favorites in the book. I felt like it was very eye-opening. And what we're going to dive into now is really discovering the 3 types of customers that you don't even realize that you have that can revolutionize your business.
Awesome. And I think, what's this first one that we have over here?
So it's as a teacher and student, but they're both
professors.
Yes, they're both professors now. But they're really helping you pull yourself out of going against your competition and finding the customers that you don't even realize you have. And they call them your non-customers.
Okay.
So these are people who have somehow in some way written off your industry.
I don't know if they so much written off your industry. They're kind of sitting on the edge of your...
Or sitting on the edge of it. You're totally right. So the first is what they have titled the soon-to-be non-customer.
Okay.
And these are the individuals that will come and go based on what's most convenient, the best price, or maybe what's even more trendy and caught up with the times.
Well, they're not loyal.
They're not loyal.
So non-customers are not loyal customers. They're the ones that if anything shiny comes through that looks like it's better, or their friend went and told them that this is trending, or they saw it on TikTok, they will dump you and go somewhere else in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. So how do you capture, or how can you look at your business model and capture those people that are sitting right on the fringe of your business?
Yep.
You know, in a way, you almost have to pumpkin plan things a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get rid of the wrong customers.
Yeah.
But then you got to look at who's sitting there and who don't you want to lose for what reason and what makes sense for your business evolution. When you're thinking about how to get yourself out of your competition, instead of trying to fight and try to keep the customers you do have, shift your gaze a little and look at those who you might lose and look at why you might lose them and how can you evolve your customer to niche down on some of those customers you might lose.
Yep.
Unless you come up with something that solves their problem.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I love that. So the second type of customer that you didn't know that your business needs is the refusing non-customer.
Oh, yeah. This one is really kind of someone who's already in their head said, you know what, I don't want your stuff. You know, I have no use for you. There's no reason why I need to buy your product.
Maybe they think they can't afford you.
It could be, yeah. They can't afford you. Or
think about Yellowtail, right?
Some people
probably
exactly.
felt, I can't figure out the wine industry. I can't afford the really good ones. So I'm just going to drink Cosmos.
Yeah.
Or drink beer.
And then they figured out a way to break into the market and make it easy, fun, affordable, all that good stuff. In this case, the case study was for this place called JCDecaux. I guess JCDecaux. Decaux. Okay. JCDecaux. I've never heard of them until I read this book. But they came up with this idea of how can we go ahead and get advertisement out there, because in an urban area, in the city, there's limited billboard space, right? Outdoor advertising area. But yet there's plenty of businesses that need to advertise. So they were really trying to figure out how could we gain more advertising space. And they came up with a great idea of outdoor furniture. And you're like, oh, outdoor furniture. But I'm pretty sure you guys have driven by a bus stop and you've seen a bunch of billboards all around that area. And so what they did,
or on the bench itself,
yeah. And so they came up with an idea of, well, if we can go ahead and pitch to the city that we'll give them free furniture, but yet we have exclusivity rights to who can advertise on this furniture, maybe we can make something work. And that's really what happened is they pitched to the cities, hey, we'll go ahead and install furniture for people to sit down at bus stops or little canopies to shade them from the sun.
Yeah. Yep.
And the only thing we're asking for in return is that you
Exclusivity.
allow us the exclusivity of advertising on that. And the cities, of course, they said yes. And on top of that, they were taking care of any of the maintenance that had to happen for these
Yep.
outdoor furniture areas they installed. So I was like, wow, that's a really revolutionary
really smart
idea. What I like about that this was an alternative. Okay, an alternative or a substitution, not a substitute, it was an alternative. They are in the advertising space, and the traditional format is billboards or side of buildings, right?
But those weren't always trackable to see what results you got from it.
Or it was
and
too
very expensive. Yes.
Or it was very expensive.
Yes.
So what was an alternative way they could provide the same service at a lower cost? And that was really, I was like, wow, that's really good, because it made me think about the jewelry business that I'm in at the moment. I'm like, what are some things that I could do differently in my space? I'm targeting the same consumer that's buying emotionally for probably a special occasion. What other things can I do in order to target alternative ways and customers?
Yes,
to
because they're
bring
thinking
in?
about targeting alternative customers, right? Because you're right, you do need to pivot within your customer group. But part of what I liked about this book is you're thinking about who isn't your customer and why they're not your customer.
Yeah, very thought-provoking.
And how do you go after them?
Yeah, 100%. And I just think, if you're sitting at home and your sales are down a little bit because you're just finding, like, prime example, we sell on Amazon, and the competition on Amazon, especially in sponsored ads, is ridiculous. So anyone, if you're thinking of selling on Amazon right away, 60% of whatever you're selling is going right back to Amazon, especially if you're doing sponsored ads.
Ouch.
Okay. So think about who's your alternative customer. And so I'm going to give you a prime example that this book made me think about. I have a set of earrings that we sell that are horses. Okay. And I run sponsored campaigns on these horse earrings. And one of the analytics that I found was that people who were reading this specific country soap opera book, romantic book, were buying my earrings. And I'm like, wait, what? Why? I mean, my earrings have nothing to do with the book. But then I started thinking about it. Your customer might be reading, or my customer might be reading that book, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe that is something I need to figure out, maybe in the country genre. So there's equestrians. There are people who are supporting different people who are in the rodeos, right? So there's an entire group of people that are unrelated to jewelry in total that are into a particular genre. So I'm still targeting the group in a way, but I'm targeting their various interests, right? Or an alternative of, or even maybe targeting the men who ride the bulls. You know what I mean? Something like that.
No, you got to, this is how businesses evolve and sometimes hit their tipping point, if you will. Guys, that was an amazing book too, but finding that little niche of the person that you didn't think was your customer and solving a need or something within that. So I love that you're kind of thinking about that.
Well, it provoked that thought into me. And so I'm just sharing to you, as a first-hand occurrence of how you can possibly integrate this into your own business.
Love that.
Yeah.
And then the third customer that you didn't realize you needed, and this one is probably the hardest to get after, but this is the biggest untapped, is the customer who has really assumed that they belong to another industry or market. And they give the example of somebody who has knowingly said, I play tennis, therefore anybody who makes golf gear, they will never get that tennis customer. But why don't those tennis customers like golf? What is it about golf? And so they really, what I appreciate about this part of the book is it gets your wheels really thinking about, okay, what does somebody have pre-set notions about your industry or your business that they have said, nope, that is not for me, that you can revolutionize.
Oh, yeah.
And I know in here you have the example for Lockheed Martin, but I think, honestly, Yellowtail Wine, which is what we've been enjoying because of this book, just a little nod to that. But I think that they took the people who said, you know what, I don't understand wines. I probably can't afford the good ones. So never mind, I'm a loyal beer drinker or I'm a cocktail drinker. And then what Yellowtail did is they said, let me make this just super fun and simple and very affordable. Give me your flavor profile. And so just like when you go to a bar and you say, I want a drink. And the bartender's like, what do you want? And they're like, I like sweet. And they make something, Yellowtail made it where you pick your flavor profile.
They made it that,
and they made it simple.
They made it very simple and digestible.
Yep.
And you look at something and it feels overwhelming. You just kind of like, I don't have the time. I'm not going to go down that road. But when you break it down in a way that someone can easily understand something, and that was the main thing about, we're bringing up Yellowtail because we've already done a case study on it.
Yep.
Yellowtail, if you ever take a time at the grocery store, pick up a bottle, look at the verbiage on there. There is no the full body 92.18 time award.
Okay, so I'm drinking it here. Yeah, it's really simple. I mean, it's got the cute little kangaroo.
Yeah.
P.S. They're not sponsoring us. This is truly just...
You should sponsor us.
You should. Let's manifest that. It literally will just say Yellowtail Pinot Grigio, and then it's got crafted by the Casella family out of Australia. And so we know it's a Pinot Grigio, and they do each of their labels because you have the cap. This is where you can tell that there's going to be a flavor difference. But this is fresh and zesty, bursting with red apple, pear, and passion fruit flavors.
Well, and then look at the color of the bottle. It is this big, bright green bottle. I mean, that was not what the wine industry did.
No.
They understood what they needed to do to stand out and be different. And what I really like about it, and I think this really comes down to businesses, sometimes we like to play it safe. Mm-hmm. We go ahead and use the same thing that everyone else is doing to play it safe. And in this case, you need to be bold, right? It's easy to play safe, but if you really want to stand out and make a difference and you believe in the product you're selling,
your why,
be bold.
Do it.
Do something different.
Yes.
And I think that's really what I picked up on this book is, think differently, act differently, create different things, and just do differently than everyone is doing.
Well, I mean, we talked about Southwest last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about going after your non-customer. They went after the person who was just going to jump in their car because of affordability and drive from business city to business city.
Yeah, 100%.
They did not say, let me go after Delta's customer. Let me go after Continental's customers. Yeah. They said, no, we want to get the road warriors and find a way to make our flights easy, simple, affordable.
Yeah.
So how can you go after those 3 customers truly who you didn't even realize were potentials for your business?
Yeah.
So those soon to be or not be, right? They're right on the fringes based on whatever new shiny pretty thing comes along.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it that you might lose them? And then you've got the ones that are kind of currently a refusing non-customer.
Yep.
And then the third is the ones who assume they just belong to another market for whatever reason.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great thing. Guys, if you have never read Blue Ocean Strategy, I definitely recommend picking up a copy. We do go over a lot of different books, but this one was really good on the marketing aspect. So pick up a copy, look at the visuals that are in there. It's really going to help you.
Love the charts and the diagrams because that was kind of a breakthrough for me. It's like, oh my gosh. Well, and I think we even used a lot of the strategies in here to rethink how we could better serve our Sage customers.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, or even here directly on YouTube,
Absolutely.
Kristen's gotten better with bolder colors.
I'm getting there. So guys, thank you for joining this. Like and subscribe. We issue a new episode every Saturday at 5 p.m. We'd love to have you part of that. We'd love to have you part of our tribe. We have the Business Growth Community, which is right now on Facebook. So please join that if you want more support for growing yourself to grow your business.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cheers, my friend. This is a great book. Great conversation.
Bye, guys.
See you guys next time.